Hi, I'm Barbara Calvi, licensed marriage and family therapist, and I want to welcome you to the Couples Corner. So, today is episode 1 in my series on your brain, friend or foe of your relationship. Here's why I want to talk about the brain today and why I frame it quite that way. So I find that when the couples come into my office and they're in a lot of distress, when I take the time to explain some of the basic ways the brain functions in interpersonal communication and in interpersonal relationships, particularly when there is stress and conflict in those interactions, it really helps people calm down. It helps people to know more of what to do in those moments and to how not to take things from their partner quite so personally. And that lays groundwork often for being able to talk things through more easily. The reason why I frame it as friend or foe is while our brains are amazing, capable of fabulous things, and we could not survive without them, the main purpose our brains developed and why we have one is about our safety. Safety, safety, and safety. The number one job of our brain is to keep us safe. So the brain is triggered and wired to have a very sensitive danger radar and has often a very sensitively attuned threat response trigger. And one of the reasons that becomes problematic is back in the days where human beings, where things were not quite so civilized, where human beings co-mingle more with wild animals, there were a number of things that you had to worry about to stay safe. You had to worry about not being some animal's lunch or dinner. You had to maybe worry about not having someone hit you over the head with a rock and drag you off to their cave. There were a number of things, physical dangers that people had to worry about. However, the brain does not distinguish between physical threat and emotional threat. The pain centers in the brain for both emotional pain and physical pain are in the same place. So when you're with your partner and you might be engaged in things bickering, fighting, things may be escalating, and maybe this is a pattern in your relationship, the brain experiences that as danger. Even if there's no actual physical danger, the brain experiences that as a huge threat to safety and survival and will get triggered. And that usually means often that maybe you will completely shut down, shut yourself off emotionally, verbally, and not be responsive. Maybe you'll even go into the other room or leave the house. More often, it means that people get triggered and they attack back, verbally and emotionally. So once you know that your brain's job is to be acutely sensitive to anything that could cause it pain, it is going to be reactive. And again, as I talk to my couples about this, it really kind of helps things. They start putting the pieces of the puzzle together. They really start to understand their interactions, their difficult and challenging interactions in a different way. That makes it, in a lot of ways, a lot easier to develop the skills that they need to be able to have some really healthy communication. So join me next week for episode 2 in my series on the brain, Friend or Foe, and we'll talk about why we are more triggered for the negative memories we have and to avoid previous experiences that were negative than positive, and how that plays out in our interpersonal relationships with the intimate partner. And until then, that time, take good care. Bye-bye.